Hey guys, welcome back to another journal entry number 2. I wanted to talk about Brotherhood today, and I wanted to talk about how life or God never gives up on you, even if you're absolutely at the lowest you've ever been. Not saying that's where I'm at, but it just got me thinking. Recently I've been getting close to my brother, and we're kind of like double teaming life right now, and we're really putting our heads together to move forward. And it's really great to have somebody who, another bro, to have your back, to encourage you and to support each other. And I look in society today, and I'm just like, there's so many people I know that are just not taking advantage of masterminding life and combining heads. And a lot of the content like I follow, it's just, when you band together, you're stronger, and then like you can make moves better and quicker. And I'm not gonna speak for my brother, but it's like we're both in a low place recently, and communicating as a guy, is always challenging, opening up. But when you do that with another brother, it's like it's there's a feeling of like mutual understanding of hardship, right? And I think that's just so important, that to know that you're not alone. And all it takes, like all my life, I've always tried to connect with people and to not feel alone. And I've always tried to make friends and to connect with people on a deeper level. And it's kind of weird. I was sleeping last night, and I had like this, it wasn't like a dream. It was like I was thinking while I was dreaming. And I was like literally thinking about how I just really crave intimacy, like a deep level of intimacy and connection with people. And I just get so bored when it's like superficial. And I think like when you combine a good connection with somebody that you can really relate to, that like you're in it with, in my example, it's like, my brother and I, and like it just feels like there's like a sense of like security and inspiration there. It's, like I was telling this to my brother the other day, like, he wants to learn a certain set of skills, and I was like, it's not very often that you have like a male figure say like, or anybody, male, female, it's like, hey man, like I know you're trying to do this, like I believe in you, and I think like you can crush it, but you just need a little nudge, like you need a little reassurance. And it's like so many guys out there are just like, they're just so close to like just starting to move in the right direction, and then getting there, and like they're just missing like that, like, dude, just fucking do it, just go, just like commit to your first step, then your second step, and then do it, right? And it's just, I feel like it's so rare these days, like genuine connection. And I think like that's what's really been missing. Probably been missing in a lot of people's lives, is like genuine connection and support for one another. Like in the US, it's just such like a competitive, slowly turning into superficiality. And it's, like I had a guy like years ago tell me, like in Austin, for example, he was like, yeah, it's just really hard to get to know people. It's hard to like really create like a genuine connection. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, it's not rocket science to connect with somebody, but like it is, because human experience teaches us to be not trusting of others, to not give people the opportunity or the chance to find every flaw in people around us. And like, we're all gonna have flaws, we're all gonna be imperfect, but at the end of the day, it's like, what's your intention? Like, if your intentions are pure and you mean well and you have a desire to follow through and maintain your honor and dignity in how you move and how you carry yourself, like, I think that's what matters. And to do justice by others and to do well for others and to give back to others, like, you just really can't go wrong. And it's like, I don't know, I think as I get older, it's like I always feel like I just want to be in a win-win scenario with myself and everybody, and understanding that, like, Jordan Peterson says this, right? He says something like, you know, you just gotta pick you pick your poison. Every action leads to a, you know, it may, you know, if you choose one thing, like, it may, you know, there's always like an opposite side to what you do, what you decide to do, or what you enact. And, you know, like, I think in my life, I'm always trying to find that balance of serving myself and serving other people, and trying to do like win-wins for people. And I don't know, I originally was just talking about me and my brother. I'm just really happy that you know, I'm able to support him, and vice versa, and we got something going, and kind of getting back into the swing of things, like mentally. Like, you know, in my life, I feel like I just have highs and lows, and I have modes of extreme lack of motivation, extreme modes of strong motivation, which I'm coming back into a place of strong motivation. And, you know, I guess wrapping around my head that, like, you know, just trying to, you know, because I'm always thinking in terms of not being perfect, or not being, you know, like, what is like a stable human being, like what makes like a normal person. And I'm just like, you know, everybody has their pros and cons, everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. You know, like, if everybody's like, if you had to choose like a game character, everybody has like every character has different sets of skills to play with, right? And I don't know, I just think that as life goes on, you know, in combination of what I'm talking about right now, you know, God or the universe, like, is always intertwined with our life and reality, with our thoughts, whether we know it or not. And it's like, I don't think people realize, like, you're never gonna fail if you never give up. You can reach your most extreme lows, but you'll never truly fail unless you know, I don't want to say it, but you know, end things. But, you know, not speaking anything into existence here, because words are very powerful, but like, God / universe will never let you fail unless you don't, like, if there's just like a little sliver of yourself that doesn't give up, like 1%, no matter how bad of a situation you're in, you can always come back. And it's normally because of the pressure and resistance that's going down will magnify the force going back up. It's like, it takes a lot of energy to go into a negative space to go into a positive space, I think. You know, one might say it's easier, but I think that a lot of people don't recognize that everybody individually and like uniquely is affected differently by their environment, and are susceptible to certain ways in which that they can be pushed towards the negative, right? You know, like, for me, environment's super important, people are super important. And I think you take away the factors that are most important in your life, and you're going to notice real quick how different your life feels. And I've definitely experienced that moving back to New York. You know, so it's like you got to go what's in alignment with your values and your vision of life, because you're going to disproportionately you're going to remove, like, if motivation is an effect, if motivation is an effect of staying on your path, right? You know, you have to think in terms of, like, I don't really know what I'm trying to say here. I guess what I'm trying to say is be mindful of how things outside you impact you and who you are, and be mindful of what you need to literally thrive, and what's going to take away from you moving in the direction you want, right? Like, for me, being around people, so important. You know, staying busy, so important. If I don't have those things, my life feels like it crumbles down. And especially, like, you know, getting used to it now, like, not being in relationships, not wanting to be in a relationship right now, totally uncharted territory. You know, I always have that desire, but I know that there are things that, like, I still need to do as a man, and I need to focus on. And you know, being kind of a stoic in that regard, of just not connecting with the events, but just doing what needs to be done. And, you know, life is gonna have its waves, its ups and downs, but you need to still move. You still need to be in motion. And it's one of my brother's challenges. He's more on, like, the lack of motion side. And, you know, I was telling him, like, I keep reminding him, like, the more you do, the more you get done, the more you snowball your energy and your motivation, and, like, small wins turn into big wins, bigger wins and bigger wins. So it's like, you have to have a mindset of getting things done for yourself, whatever that looks like, you know. I think struggling with motivation has definitely taught me, because, like, if you don't struggle with something, it's harder to unravel its components, because it comes natural to you. Like, if you're athletically gifted, you're never really going to know what it's like to struggle to become athletically at a comparable level, athletic wise, right? Like, if I'm not good at basketball naturally, like, I'm going to understand what it's really like to grow in that process than somebody who's just a natural basketball player, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say about that. These diary things are interesting, but, you know, I think they're cool, because the idea is, like, I want to reflect on this, and, you know, when I'm older, I can reflect on these videos and be like, aha, that's where I was at. You know what I mean? Timeline it. Enjoying the journey. Yeah, hope you had hope you enjoyed this video. We'll definitely make another one very soon. Thank you for tuning in.